Hello Fuji fanboys! Last week I mentioned that I'll be doing a little test of not one but 6 50mm lenses for X-mount system. The main reason? I own the legendary 50mm F1.0 lens. Yes, the one famously declared the worst lens of 2020 by DP Review. So I was curious, how does it actually stack up against 5 other 50mm lenses? So here is my very unscientific test of all 6 lenses. Right here are the 6 photos taken with a XH2 about a meter away from the subject. So what I did was just put one lens in, remove the next one. And so on the left, on the far left, this is taken with a Fujifilm followed by ultralap. And this is TT Artisan, Brighting Star, Yongnuo F1.8 and another Brighting Star autofocus F1.4. So they all look similar but yet very different, as you can see from here. So let's start with the 3 other manual lenses, okay? So 4 of them. So we have Fuji, Ultralap F1.2, TT Artisan F.95 and Brighting Star. So if I zoom in, we could tell that the ultralap is the softest here. So for all these manual lenses, I take about 3 to 4 shots and find the sharpest, right? They're all straight out of the camera. No adjustments being done. So if we zoom in, you could tell that the ultralap is the softest at this point, because I think, like what the manufacturer mentioned, the direction of that lens is to mimic a 1980 Nikon lens, so it's supposed to mimic that kind of softness to it. So I will excuse this lens for what it is optically because it's created for that purpose. So I will remove the ultralap from this part. Now we are left with these 3 lenses, which is Fuji, TT Artisan and Brighting Star. A close look, I could tell the TT Artisan loses to the ultralap, to the Brighting Star. The Brighting Star looks amazing to me, right? So I'll remove the TT Artisan. I'm now left with these 2. The worst lens of 2020 on the left, the Fujifilm XF1.0 and the Brighting Star. At this point, I think for what it is, the Brighting Star actually performs not bad. It does have a bit of ghosting, or what do you call that, softness to it. It's like you put a bit of Cine Bloom lens to it that gives that little glow to it. If you can just look at this Fujifilm F in here, the 400, it does look soft. Alright? If you look at the jelly part and the dust on this part of it versus here, the Fujifilm actually performs much better at f1 versus f.95 here, which is insignificant to me. So we zoom out and look at the picture. In terms of bokeh, yeah, okay, that looks pretty much the same. Fujifilm has a bit more detail, but here's a bit blown out. So at this point, I felt that the Brighting Star 0.95 is pretty good. So if I were to add 2 other AF lenses right now, which is the f1.8 Yongnuo, shot at f1.8, the brightest, and another Brighting Star f1.4. And these 2 are autofocus lens, alright? So if you look at it right now, the competitions get greater. Do note, this is 1.8, 1.4, 0.95. Okay, at this point, the 2 autofocus lens on the right performs better, of course, because they are f1.8 and 1.4. So this is where the bokeh comes in play. The Fujifilm, of course, is the nicest. The 0.95 also looks great. Between the f1.4 and 1.8, of course, the 1.4 is performing pretty well actually. Actually, the 1.4 and the Fujifilm F1, let me take a look right now. This is the Fujifilm F1.0. This is the Brighting Star at 1.4. Not bad. It's not as soft as the Fujifilm 1.0, but as a whole, I think it's not bad for what it is, right? Sharpness at this point. Fujifilm still has a bit more contrast, but this can be fixed in post for the Brighting Star. So, not bad, I would say, for the Brighting Star, right? So in this comparison, I would think that the Fujifilm and both the Brighting Stars actually perform pretty good for what it is. So these are the 3 final shots, which I think they are pretty good if I could compare. The winner is still at f1.0 Fujifilm. I think it performs pretty well. The 0.95, it's okay for what it is, I feel. So I'm gonna let you try. This is a 1.4 lens, the Brighting Star. I'm gonna pick a I did a shot of f1.4 for Fujifilm. Okay, here is a Fujifilm at 1.8, 1.4, and the Brighting Star 1.4. Both shot at 1.4 right now. Actually, the Fuji is shot at 1.3. At 200%. I would say the Fujifilm is still sharper. More contrast as a whole. If you look at the bokeh at the back here, at 1.3 is way softer. It's not f1.0 but 1.4. If you're looking at f1.4 50mm, I think it performs well.
So what is the verdict? Surprisingly or not, my pick for the winner is still the Fujifilm XF50mm 1.0 AF WR lens. It's not a cheap lens. In fact, all the combined cost of all the 5 lenses is still less than this one. But optically, it's the strongest in this group. Plus, it comes with autofocus and weather resistant, or we call it WR. Some might ask, why not include the XF56mm F1.2 WR in this test? Simple. The shootout is strictly about 50mm focal length lenses. That's why the 56 wasn't included. That said, I do own both the 50 and the 56. They're close, just 6mm that separates them apart. So why do I need both? Trust me, that question will come up more often than you think, especially from my wife. Okay, here is how I use them. The 56mm f1.2, great for outdoor because it's smaller, lighter, and more forgiving because it has more reliable autofocus. As for the infamously XF50mm f1.0 WR, I save this for special occasions. It's more demanding to use, but when you nail the shot, the look, the feel are just that bit more magical. If you're chasing the extra maybe 5 to 10%, you won't be disappointed. And among the 5 third-party lenses, my pick is the drumroll Brighting Star 50mm f1.4 autofocus. Why? It has good optics, decent autofocus, and very well priced. Hope you had fun watching this little comparison video. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing to this channel and supporting what I do. My name is Ivan and you're watching Fuji Fanboys.
Hey, Fuji Fanboy, which is your favorite X camera? Time to hit the street and take some photos together.